Very few horror games exist that have the same longevity as Amnesia: The Dark Descent, a survival horror game created by Frictional Games. The question is often asked as to why this is, and while the game itself is certainly a masterpiece of horror, storytelling, and gameplay, the real advantage this game has had after all these years is the ability for any player of this game to create their own adventures in the form of custom stories or full conversion mods in the same game engine. A modding community has grown because of this, a very diverse and large modding community at that, with many Amnesia mods and custom stories being available for every player that has the base game. With that in mind, here are my personal picks for the top 10 Amnesia mods as of 2020. The Attic is a classic Amnesia custom story, telling the tale of a son investigating his father's mysterious experiments in the attic of his house. Things quickly turn sinister during his adventure, and it turns into a fight to survive. The attic is, by all means, a bit rough around the edges. It features a variety of environments, an ample supply of enemies to avoid, some surprises, and notes to discover. There are some factors to it that really highlight its age: map layouts, spelling mistakes, and simplistic gameplay, but it makes up for this by developing some great atmosphere, especially in the latter half of the game. The story can be a bit hard to follow at points, but everything's there for the player to piece together. Overall, a decent mod from start to finish. Nepsis is a reality warping experience of a mod. You start out in a fairly normal environment, but things quickly turn surreal and sinister. Bits and pieces of the story are revealed through trippy experiences, scattered notes, and conclusions through environments. Dealing with the consequences from a drug, which exists in real life as well, DMT, this mod will leave your head spinning in more ways than one. There's also the presentation of a new enemy based on an existing concept, the water monster, but on land. This left many players scared, confused, and frightened at this old but new concept of a monster that you couldn't quite see. Emma's Story is another classic mod, with a fairly straightforward story. A young girl named Emma gets a letter from her lover telling her of her father's evil plans with an orb he discovered. The rest of the mod is her journey downwards, trying to get to her father's lab. This one draws a bit from Amnesia's main story, The Dark Descent, with elements such as the orb and the assumed creation of monsters. But it does take the time to put new twists on things, and it delivers a few good scares, especially when statues are nearby.
Just what the hell are you doing?
The level design is straightforward but entertaining to walk through. No custom monsters or excessive asset insertion. Emma's Story is a refreshing blend of originality and creativity. Down the Rabbit Hole is a decently lengthy mod with a lot of weirdness to it. Starting off very vague and mysterious, you slowly start getting clues as to what's really going on around you. It starts off fairly stereotypically, with your main character not remembering anything when he wakes up in an unfamiliar environment. Even with things slowly being revealed over time, the story isn't fully explained, and you only get a handful of explanations from the mod itself.
Shazam! Oh god, I just said Shazam. Oh no. Oh no.
Drawing on surrealism, detailed environments, new takes on enemies, and a protagonist with a lot to say, Down the Rabbit Hole is a thrilling, yet confusing, experience, from start to finish. A Late Night Drink is a mod with a story to tell. Not one especially heroic or epic, but a story nonetheless. A wine tasting goes horribly wrong as the protagonist ends up in a void and must help another man's shattered mind to reform if he has any chance of escaping. This mod is equal parts charming, funny, scary, intriguing, and saddening. The only drawback to the experience is the lack of voice acting, meaning, at times, there can be a lot of text on screen for one to read and take in, but the mod more than makes up for it with detailed and consistent environments, odd visuals, and thematic puzzles. Definitely worth checking out for those who love story. Penumbra Necrologue is a fan-made continuation of Frictional Games' own Penumbra series, continuing the story of Penumbra directly after the events of Penumbra Requiem. The player once again takes the role of Philip, trying to survive in an infected research facility. The benefit Necrologue has at being a full conversion mod is more diverse maps, custom enemies, and presentation that really makes Necrologue feel like a Penumbra game. The story does tend to get jumbled, and to some it leaves much to be desired, but overall, it carries the spirit of the Penumbra series well, and its popularity over the years reflects just that. If you're a fan of the Penumbra series, this is definitely something you should check out. Amnesia Through the Portal is one of the first full conversion mods made on the game engine. It's a mod which shows the author's take on what happens to Daniel directly after the events of Agrippa's ending in The Dark Descent. This is similar to Necrologue in that it is a fan-made continuation, so hardcore fans of The Dark Descent might find this mod very, very satisfying. Daniel ends up in a strange, deserted alien world. This mod has a unique approach to storytelling, picking up on smaller story points left over from The Dark Descent, including Alexander's activities before he journeyed to Earth. Some fan-created lore is also revealed around the workings of the orbs and the technology surrounding them, as well as their consequences. A short but thrilling experience, definitely worth taking a look at. Destiny Rebellion is a mod that's unlike any other. A tale of a widower traveling in time to save his late wife and a monster wanting to meet humans instead of killing them is interesting enough, but this mod goes the extra mile by giving the player a huge amount of custom content. New enemies, environments, entities, items, and interactables make this mod a fantastic experience from start to finish. A great story with the addition of extra areas make it enjoyable for those who want an epic tale, as well as a fun time. Destiny Rebellion is one mod out of a few telling a bigger story, but it's the most iconic of them for what it brought to the table. A lengthy, wacky, and fun experience for all who play. The Shadow of the Ram Lord is a truly Lovecraftian experience. The mod is told in the past tense, the main character, but this doesn't diminish the journey you undertake in the slightest. You're pitted against horrors no one was meant to uncover. All the while, the environments and the voice acting leave you never feeling alone. Ramlord is a fantastic mod, with ample atmosphere, scares, and storytelling, making this a truly unforgettable experience. Obscurity, a great custom story that fills all the usual checkmarks. A good story, atmospheric maps, some new monsters, and great voice acting. And White Knight, one of, if not the first, Amnesia full conversion mods, with unique imagery and world building mixed with cryptic storytelling and great atmosphere. Amnesia: The Great Work is one of the very few mods out there that rivals The Dark Descent in terms of atmosphere, pacing, story, environments, enemies, and general presentation. A simple premise of an archaeologist looking for his missing colleague turns into an adventure unlike any other. So much work was put into this mod, and it pays off very well. Real-world history is integrated almost seamlessly into this mod's lore. The environments are unique, yet still evoke the same creepy feeling as The Dark Descents. Items are used in new and interesting ways. There are custom monsters with story and characterization behind them, and on top of all of that, There are so many little details added to the worlds around you that enrich all of these things. You'd think this mod was created by Frictional Games themselves. It's incredible that this is just a custom story, and not even a full conversion mod. The great work, ultimately, blends originality with creativity to deliver a terrifying experience. Of course, there are many other Amnesia mods out there waiting for players to download. Amnesia mods over the years have definitely contributed to the Dark Descent staying relevant throughout the years, and with support for mods being on both Soma and Amnesia Rebirth, it's looking like there's going to be no shortage of new mods in the same general style as these. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one and other horror-related content. Thanks to all you horror fans for watching. I'm the Midnight Researcher, and I will see you all around.